talk, slam, storytelling, whatever it is, 7 times. She also spoke at the wedding that me and Lauren and I had in the other room where the music is playing right now. We brought her in and we didn't even know her, but she just had this crazy story about being married to an amazing man. So we said, can you tell a story at our thing? I want to bring up one of my favorite storytellers. I have nothing else to say other than she's my role model in the storytelling world. It's Sandi Marx!
I really do feel like, when I grow up, I want to be you. I feel like such a miscreant. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to tell you a story. We'll explain how I got to where I got, which turned out to be okay, even though things never start the way they're supposed to. All right, so it's the early 80s, and all I've ever wanted to do is be a dancer. And I am, on this particular July day, standing in front of the Schubert Theater because I'm going to audition to be in a chorus line on Broadway. And honestly, from the time I saw the show in high school, sobbing from the first curtain up to that last singular sensation, all I ever wanted was to be in this show. This was it. So I had a very mediocre scholastic career, not like you probably. And I went on to college, again, lackluster, but it didn't matter because I was going to be a professional dancer. And I trained after school, and I would work in a studio as the receptionist to pay for my classes because my parents had no money to help. I was always broke. And the only work I ever got while I was auditioning was spraying people with poison. Explain? $10 an hour on the main floor of Bloomingdale's. I would say, like Christian Dior, would you like some poison? Now, I took this job very seriously because that was a lot of money, and my boss was hovering, and she used to say, you're not allowed to stand still. You have to wander, like I'm at the polo matches. So I'm wandering around. Hi, Poison by Christian Dior. Would you like some poison? And then because I was sort of the comedian, I would go to men and say, would you like to buy your wife some poison? Or, it's Mother's Day. How about some poison? And nobody was amused but me. But it was the only work I could get, and I wanted to be a dancer, and the auditions were few and far between. Until one day I called my answering service. Okay, now I'm older than you guys. In the olden days, we didn't have voicemail. We had a service. It was these women who looked like, Ernestine, a Lily Tomlin character that had like probably lipstick and they probably, I don't know, but you call and they'd say, SU7 5400, and you'd say, hi, it's Sandi, do I have any messages? And they always said to me, nothing in here. And you know that when they hung up, they're like, really? Does she really think that anybody wants? Like I knew they were probably coming, but every day I thought one day, one day while I was at Bloomingdale's pitching my poison, I got a call. There was this audition. My agent had said, tomorrow you have to show up at the Schubert Theater. Now I'm going to qualify this. My agent was a lovely woman who wasn't really my agent. She was just this nice lady who had an agency that I used to do paperwork for, and we bartered. Bartering is a good thing. So in exchange for bartering by Xeroxing, she would send me out on auditions. And the next day, I had this big audition. And this was it. This was the career maker. This is all I ever wanted to do, was be in this show. It was replacing the original cast in the chorus line. So I'm there. I've got my dance bag. It's filled with my character shoes and my tap shoes and my pictures and resumes. And we used to wear these, I swear, this was a thing. We wore rubber pants. Like to think like, I don't know, like we were so professional, we wore rubber pants. It was really a way to lose weight quickly. You just stick these pants on and you like bring them up to here. And then it was like a flash dance thing. Your shirts were all cut. It was so fucking bullshit, but it didn't matter. I'm at the audition. All right, so I open the door. I'm in the Schubert Theater, and it's dark. And I think I'm so special. There are like 200 girls auditioning for the 3 or 4 replacement roles. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna win it. So I get there. Now this is how it works. All right, Michael Bennett. He's not alive anymore, but the guy was a god. He's sitting in the front row. It's Michael Bennett. He's got all of his minions, their assistants. There's just one stage light. It's an empty theater. And what they do is they they have dance captain who corrals us, and he brings us out, just like the show, you got your number on, like you're on The Price is Right, you got your number on, and then he brings you up in like a group of 20, and they teach you the opening combination. I think they called it T for 2, or something like that, and okay, now what you don't want to ever hear at an audition when you're an actor or a dancer is these 2 words. Thank you! Okay, thank you is their way of saying, you suck, time to go home. So, okay, now I don't know how this happened, frankly, because I always knew my self-worth. They didn't thank me for hours. And girls are going, they're spitting them in, they're spitting them out. They're teaching us new combinations. We're learning the opening scene, we're learning every combination. They've whittled down all these hundreds of girls. There are like 8 of us left. And now I'm thinking, holy shit, I'm going to be in a chorus line. I have fooled all of these people, including Michael Bennett, for the last 6 hours. And I'm in like a fugue state. I'm already thinking, I'm going to move out of my parents' apartment in Queens. I'm going to be a grown-up. And then they start handing out the sheet music. It's important, you gotta sing. So, okay, so the stage manager hands me What I Did for Love, a very important song in that show. It's sung by a character called Morales, which was originally played by Priscilla Lopez. Now, I'm a Jewish girl, okay, we got that, but I have dark skin, I tan easily. I'm thinking this isn't a problem, but it's written in the key of C, because that's how Marvin Hamlish wants it. Marvin Hamlish, we don't argue with Marvin Hamlish. And the guy says, if you get, okay, so I'm thinking, okay. But now here's the problem, and it's a small but important one. I can't sing. I mean, I'm not a good singer. I can't really. But my mother used to tell me when I was a kid, you just gotta fake it till you make it. You're gonna do it. You just sell it. She was like, somebody in Gypsy Rose Lee, like the monk. So I figure, all right. So I go up, and I know I'm screwed. I'm not very talented when it comes to singing. And they start playing, and I'm so invested because I have to get this job. That's all I've ever wanted. So I start. Kiss today, goodbye. Thank you. Just like that. So 6 hours. My whole life, it's like your life passes before your eyes when you're going to die. And that's it. I'm done. Now, Michael Bennett was a champ, and he actually said, I'm really sorry, but you're really not a very good singer. But I'm doing a new show, and I would love for you to audition. It's called Dreamgirls. Now, I didn't know yet that this was an all-black cast, but I showed up, and there was like one white reporter. I didn't get that either. It didn't matter. Okay, so now I'm devastated because the one thing that I ever wanted, I didn't have a backup, and it was like all my hopes and dreams have been dismissed in that moment. So I grab my dance bag, I throw all my shit back in there. It's been hours, I'm exhausted, I'm starving, and now I've got to go back to the Fakakta Dance Studio where I'm at the reception desk to pay for my classes. So I push open the stage door. It's now 500 pounds of self-hatred and disappointment. I barely managed to get it. It is a hot New York summer day. Now let me explain if you're less than 35 years old. New York in the 80s was a shithole. A literal shithole. There were no pooper scooper laws. It was like when you walked on the streets of New York, especially in the summer, it was like the Hurt Locker. You're like, you're walking like this. You can't get anywhere quickly. Plus the garbage men were on strike like every 2 or 3 weeks. So there were flies circling your head wherever you went. Let's put it this way. Our hero in New York back then was Bernard Goetz. If you don't know who that is, Bernard Goetz shot someone who tried to steal his wallet on the subway. We love this guy. We were all, like, they were robbing and they were pickpockets and rapists in New York. This is way before Disney got there. It's before Bloomberg Febrezed all of 42nd Street with bikes. It was a shithole. So wherever you were, you had to be like on high alert. So I leave the Schubert Theater. Now, meanwhile, there are tourists milling around, getting ready to go see the evening production of Cats or whatever fucking show they were going to see. And I'm despondent, but I'm also hungry, and I got to go to work. So I'm looking for my money. I have like $5 to last me the rest of the week, just to buy a nutritious dancer's lunch, which back then was, we had a pack of cigarettes and a Milky Way. That's what we lived on. And chocolate bar. I already had the cigarettes. And I go into my pocket, I'm on the street, and a $5 bill lands on the ground right in front of me. And I bent down to get it, and as I do that, this young guy, this like thug with his pants low and dirty hair, and he had a bicycle chain around his neck, and one of those t-shirts that's like dirty with sweat. He doesn't even break his stride. He just grabs the $5, and he keeps walking. And something in me snapped, and I said, stop, right there. That is my $5. You are not stealing my money. I need that money, and it's mine. And he looks at me like I'm an idiot, like, what are you talking about? But it's a theater crowd, because tourists are everywhere. They've got their fanny packs and their portable cameras, and they're like wearing socks with their sandals and hat buttons, and they're excited. They're seeing there's a fracas going on. So they slow down, and I start screaming, stop that man. And they get in the act, and they say, stop that kid. Stop him, give her back her money. And he keeps saying, no, it's not your $5, it's my money. I said, oh no, it's not. It's my money. I worked really hard for that $5. Do you know how many people I sprayed today with poison for that $5? Give me my money. So he didn't want to give it to me. Now the crowd is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like my face is hot. It's like, did you guys see Young Frankenstein? Yeah. Or do you remember in the square, the town square, when they think they're going to get the monster and they've got the fiery torches? It was like that. People were going nuts, and I didn't know what to do, so I just was like playing along. And then all of a sudden I heard the clopping of hooves, because we used to have cops on horses. So this guy, like a Canadian mountie, clops his way up, and he gets off his horse, and he says, ma'am, what seems to be the problem? Ma'am, I'm like 20 years old, ma'am. I said, that boy has my money. That kid took my money. And he asked the kid, he goes, no, that woman's crazy. It's my money. And the whole crowd says, give her back her money. They're like chanting it. It was like the most exciting thing that happened to them, before they were going to go see their Broadway shows. So it becomes such a big deal. And there's a horse sweating, standing there. And this kid's like assessing. And he's probably thinking, I'm not going to a precinct on the back of a horse. So he relents, and he gives the police officer the $5. And the crowd cheers, and I'm cheering, and the cop says, man, like, everyone be on your way. And all of a sudden, I'm like, you know that what's that movie when the Transformers? I all of a sudden I've become Billy Jack or like Charles Bronson. I'm becoming this other person. I'm like 7 feet tall, and I take that money, I step it in my pocket, and I say thank you. And I'm so like I'm so elated. I'm like high from this. And I start running to the dance studio because I can't wait to tell everybody who I dance with what the fuck just happened. I took control of the situation. I am not going to let this go down in a way that I'm a victim. I'm the one who has the answers. Obviously, I'm a little unhinged because I just lost the only job I ever wanted in my whole life. So I run to 40th Street and 7th Avenue. I get to the studio, I run up, and I grab everybody and go, wait, you gotta hear what just happened. They're all looking at me like, okay, they're humoring me. And then I say, okay, I just got mugged, but I got my money back. And then I describe the story, and I put it in my pocket, and I say, I had $5, and I pull out the money. And this is the moment when I realize that now I have $10. Because I went from being a victim to a perp in those minutes. I took money from this poor schmuck. It was never my money. I robbed this kid. And I realized, what the fuck have I just done? Now, if I were like, a remorseful human, I would feel awful. No, I didn't. I thought, no. Finally, I can give voice to who I need to be. I need to be in control of my destiny. And I knew at that moment, it was that moment when you pivot, when you thought, all right, self-actualization. I'm not that talented. I can't sing. I'm an okay actress. Dancing, meh, maybe. But maybe I need to do something where I can really make a living. And obviously I'm good at getting money from people. So I became a talent agent. It was a natural fit. I was dancing at the time with this wonderful actor named Peter Weller, who went on to become RoboCop. And he was a really nice guy. And he said, I want you to meet my agent. And I at first thought, oh, he thinks I have some heat or something. No, he said, you're always busy telling everybody else where they should be, what auditions are going on. Maybe that's what you should be doing. And that's what I wound up doing. And I loved it. Now, while I was an agent, about 5 or 6 years passed, and one of my clients invited me to the 10th anniversary of a chorus line. And at first I thought, oh gosh, I don't know. This is just too heartbreaking. Can I really do that? I said, okay, I'll go. And I went. And it was this glorious, I had seen the chorus line like 8 times. It was still one of my favorite shows. And I could separate myself from being the person that was up there as Morales. I knew that was never going to happen. That train that went out of the station. Did not crash, but just went out of the station. And I thought, okay, none of this is going to happen. But when I walked out of the theater, it was a matinee. I remember looking around, thinking, gosh, if only I could find that poor kid who I victimized that day with a horse and a cop and all this stories, because I owed him so much more than just that $5. I owed him my life with interest, because things turned out really well when I realized what my real passion was being in control and doing something that I was actually much better at. Still appreciating the theater, still going all the time to see Broadway shows, but helping other people usher their careers rather than my own. Thank you.
Sandi Marx is clearly the person you want at your party. Or at the dinner table when there's someone across from you that you really don't want to talk to, you're like, Sandi, talk and go. You're a good buffer guest? So, if you could, let's say that guy was in the back of the room right now and comes forward, he's like, yeah, that was me, and he can prove it. What would you give? What would you give him?
I would give him the biggest check as I have in my bank account, which is not saying a lot, but whatever it is, I would give it to him.
So here you are, dancer, and all of a sudden now you're an agent. I mean, what was that? What did you have that voice in your head that goes, this seems more right? Because I came from the same ilk, and where I was like, I'm a performer, and then I saw a company manager on my first tour, and I said, I want your job,
right?
You know, and sort of like what even Tammy was talking about, that was a position I didn't even know existed, and so if I only knew it existed, I would have cut this whole portion of my life out.
I have to say, I got so much more pleasure helping actors. Doing what they love to do and making the kind of livings where they could have children, where they could move into big houses, because I represented, my basic job was basically representing celebrities for commercials. Wow. So they would come to New York to do a Broadway show, which doesn't pay that well, but if I booked them on a wonderful spot, certainly if they were a celebrity, they would make enough money where they didn't have to do a shitty TV show or a film, and that gave me more pleasure than ever getting a job as an actor.
Which goes back to what I said at the top of the show. If you know what you want to do, or you enjoyed that control, right? Or you enjoyed the ability to maneuver and manipulate and move pieces around the chessboard, right?
That's exactly it.
And I think so many times we get stuck in our heads. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody the other day who's probably in their 40s or something, and she goes, I made a promise to myself in my 20s that I would go back to school. I'm going to do it. And I said to her, but do you want to go back to school? Right. And she goes, oh, I never thought about that. Because we make these promises to myself, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, whatever it is, but we forget we can turn around.
That's exactly right. I mean, I spent my career as an agent, and then I retired, and I raised 3 kids who are all adults now, and I've told you this before, I was so exhausted from listening to hundreds of actors and 3 children that finally, about 2 years ago, I thought, fuck all of them, I'm going to start talking, maybe someone will listen to me. And I only started doing this a couple of years ago because this was an outlet that I would have done if I could have when I was in my 20s.
And you're never talking about the
storytelling.
No way, only 2 years. So here you have actor, agent, storyteller. That's your business card, right? Actor, agent, storyteller.
This is a typical third act. I mean, I'm 60 years old. I just started doing this. And
can you stop for a second? She's 60 years old.
Princess of AARP. But truly, you are never too old to start a new career, as long as you are vital and you want to say something that people want to listen to.
And people want to listen to someone who's got something to say. So that was a great moral, but if you had 15 seconds to say anything,
Right.
it doesn't have to be on what do you want to be when you grow up. What would the 15 seconds be on the mic?
Don't second guess what your, I don't know, don't second guess what you think you can't do. Just do what you want to do. And don't question it. And sooner or later, other people will follow along. You know, just let them catch up to what your passion is.
Sandi Marx.